So we talked about periods and periods meaning stop. Commas mean pause. Pause for a minute. You don't stop completely, but you take a breath there. So commas mean pause for a moment, but then keep going on to the end of the sentence. So here are some things to think about. They're different from a period or a complete stop. In this example, I'm not going to stop until I get to the period. The boy loved burritos, tacos, and churros. So here I pause, and stop. He ate a lot of Mexican, Japanese, Italian, and American food. Stop. So again, these are pauses. So commas can do one of these things. They can separate things in a series. And a series are 3 or more things that are listed in a sentence. You put a comma after each item, not before but after, and you always end your sentence with a period. All sentences are always ended with a punctuation mark. So here are some sentences with 3 or more items, and we need to add some commas. Cranberries, strawberries, and blueberries grow in northern United States. Cranberries, strawberries, and blueberries grow in the northern United States. Bananas, pineapples, and oranges are healthy. Kids ride bikes and scooters after school. So here, the connector and is doing the work for me. I don't need a comma. I don't have 3 or more items. I only have 2. So this connector is enough. Kids ride bikes, scooters, skates, and skateboards after school. John, Kathy, Lou, Brian, and Joe met up for a movie after class. Poodles, cats, giraffes, and monkeys fascinated Joey. Pretty simple. The only thing you really need to remember is that you need those commas in between the items, and then at the end the connector will connect the last part for you. And if there are only 2 items, such as bikes and scooters after school in this sentence, the connector is doing the work for you. All right. You can also connect 2 short sentences. The sentences need to go together, and you can correct them with a comma, but you need 2 things. So you need a comma, and you also need a connector. We use this acronym FANBOYS to remember the main ones: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. The dog ran after the cat. The cat fled in terror. We have 2 complete sentences. So how can we connect them? Well, let's take a look. The dog ran after the cat fled in terror. I didn't do anything to connect them. That's called a run-on. The dog ran after the cat, period. The cat fled in terror, period. So I have 2 complete sentences because I'm using periods. But I can use a comma. The dog ran after the cat, comma. The cat fled in terror. Now that's still a run-on. The reason is, because remember the rule is you can connect 2 short sentences that go together, but you have to have a comma and a connector. A comma's not enough. So here would be the correct way of connecting. The dog ran after the cat, comma, and the cat fled in terror. That is considered a complete sentence. We have a special name for it. It's called a compound sentence. Here are some examples of complete sentences separated by commas that I would like you to rewrite using the comma connector. And I'd like to challenge you to use a different connector for each of the sentences. So the boy sang a song, comma, for he loved listening to classical music. Okay? Work on those. Pause for a minute to do that. Okay, here we have another way of using commas. Commas can set apart a descriptive chunk inside your sentence. This is called an appositive phrase. So whenever we're describing the who or the subject inside the sentence, we can kind of set it aside with commas. Blue whales, the fastest kind, are found in all the oceans. So the descriptive chunk inside the sentence tells more about the who. It describes the blue whales inside the sentence. You need a comma before and after the chunk. That's why there's one here and one here. Here's some examples. Mosquitoes, blood-sucking insects, often carry diseases. So here's my positive phrase, my descriptive chunk. I'm going to set it apart with a comma. Miss Jen, a woman in her 20s, loved to read to the class. So here again is my positive, my descriptive phrase. Set it apart with commas. The kids, always playful and energetic, looked forward to summer. Here I'm going to set my describers apart. Okay, now we're going to review. I want you to fix these three sentences on some paper, adding the punctuation marks we talked about today.